All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, chiefly of GMS, who rule well, peace and blessings, the Akim and Al-Quath, faithfully following this word, pursuing this truth, rehearsing the righteous acts, and pushing to get up out of here. Yahweh's name, the Heavenly Father, it means He is. Yahweh Shai's the name of His Son, it means He is. You say it's HaKadosh is the name of the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. I'm going to go. I had a dream last night, really. And it was kind of weird. Well, it was kind of cool. I started being able to move things and telekinesis and shit. And I woke up. I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought I could do it. But, I can't remember exactly what it was. I wish I'd done, one of these things. When you get these dreams, you got to do the lesson soonish afterwards. But I understood it. I could do it. I understood exactly how it worked. It was like moving my hand, everything. What I'm trying to say is, I believe that these gifts is going to start to be given out by the Lord. Like the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai is He, and the Spirit really Ba'Shem HaKadosh. You got to start blessing, like Elder Apostle Tar said, Uncle giving out money, you better get some. You better start asking for what you need, because I really believe it's coming and there's times, I was like, I even remember how I was just somewhere, I feel like I was at a party or something, just keeping a low profile and I could just move stuff. I just knew how to do it. Weren't anything big, but you should go into Acts. Don't know where it is. Acts 5, something like that. Peter, he was given power. Like people getting healed by his shadow. When the Spirit's moving and giving out gifts, moves heavy. You know what I'm saying? So these times, and it even says it in the scriptures. Yeah, it says you will do greater things than me. Yahweh Shai is saying, oh man, he was saying, in the days to come, you'll do great. And maybe you're talking about the acts, but they was, all power to all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem, because it's not us. Even the apostles recognize it's not us. It's the Spirit moving through us, man, moving through that third temple. But just like my testimony, because if you're given these dreams, you have to what's the word? Pay it forward, man. Pay it forward, man. The Lord allows you something. If there's something that might edify the body, exhort, increase faith, But that's where we are anyway. So, just wanted to bring that out. The second thing, Isaiah 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to the place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall make them captives who captives were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from their hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased, El Dorado, right? The Americas. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He has smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, and he hath ruled the nations in anger and persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and quiet, and they break forth into singing. Beautiful. Yea, the fir trees rejoice, and the fig trees are as peoples, right? That's in the one of the Gospels, when the blind man says he sees trees as people. And the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no further is come upon us. No hell from beneath is moved down. We understand hell's the grave for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead, for the even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up their thrones of the nation. And you know what came to my mind then? The dragons of the east. You know, I don't know why, because I'm not sure if it really. No, it must apply because the spirit. But the dragons of the east, man. I think it was the stirring up of the Euphrates, the drying up of the Euphrates. It has raised them up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. Yeah, the dragons of the east, man. Spirit never misses, bro. I don't even know what I'm talking about. all they all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as thee, the dragons of the east? Let the weak become strong. Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down on the ground, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, the worms to cover thee. And the worms is decay. You know, the worms is decay, is a rot. Not just it's financial decay, you know what I mean? It's decay of an empire. It's decay of the hierarchical structure, the breaking down of society. That's the worm, man. When a worm gets into the wood, rots it out from the inside, and from the outside, the wood still looks okay. So you test it till it's tested. Then you knock against that piece of wood, it crumbles because it's decayed. The worm is spread. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave. You know, shameful spewing upon thy glory. You know what I'm saying? That's just shameful spewing. You know, Trump talk about the art of the deal. Oh man, Trump. I was watching another podcast. They talk about how Trump has very good diplomats in the United States. You know, foreign diplomats, people who are good at foreign policy, understanding history, the tensions, the things to bear in mind when negotiating. He told them all to go away. He even told Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, he said to him, well, you can just do what you want. You don't need to get any advice. It says in the scriptures, I think it's in Proverbs, you know, that counsel is good always to seek counsel. You know, people who are wise seek counsel. Always ask advice before you make a big move. But he, you know, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. He rushes in. Whereas the whole the rest of Europe, they're saying, well, you're not sure about going in there Strait of Hormuz. If you watch any, I was saying this to my daughter, if you watch any, you know, these historical battles, the Spartans versus anybody else, or where there's Alexander, if you study any of those historical battles where a smaller nation or a smaller army beat a bigger nation, it always ends up in the funnel. And what I mean by is you take the bigger nation and you funnel them into a small space where they're bite-sized, where you can hack them off. Strait of Hormuz, what's it, 20 miles wide? The place is going to be a meat grinder. The blood will be up to the bridle. Man. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So that means the worms are on top and below. That's what it's saying. Not just because usually the worms be working from the bottom, you know, like you drop an apple and the worms come up to the, you know, from the bottom through the earth into the apple. But the worms are on top as well. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, O you light bearer, you people who thought you knew how to run things and were telling everybody which way to go. How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I'll exalt my throne above the stars of God. Yeah. Let's get 15. The burden of Moab. Moab shall howl over Nebo and over Mendeba, and all their heads shall be baldness, every beard cut off. So, see, Moab think he got next, man. In the streets they shall gird themselves with sackcloth. But Esau got a special thing for Moab coming up. Moab forgot that Esau Esau's blessing is the sword. You know, and Moab ain't really mentioned too tough in Ezekiel 37. Something is going to screw Moab up, but I ain't sure. 18 and 19. Woe unto the land shadowing with wings, which is beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, that send ambassadors to the sea, even vessels of bulrushes upon the water, saying, Go ye swift messengers to a nation, scattered and pilled, to a people terrible from their beginning hitherto, a nation meted out and trodden down, and whose land the rivers have spoiled. All ye inhabitants, yeah, okay. You're going to do something to that dam, Moab. You better watch out. You better make sure you got plenty of concrete. All ye inhabitants of the world, and ye dwellers on the earth, see ye when he lifted up the ensign of the mountains, and when he bloweth the trumpet, hear ye. For the Lord saith unto me, I will take my rest, and I will consider my dwelling place like the clear heat upon the herbs, and the cloud of the dew and the heat of the harvest. For afore the harvest, when the bud is perfect, and the sour grape is ripening, and the flower ye shall both cut off sprigs with the pruning hooks, and take away and cut down the branches. They shall be left together unto the fowls of the mountains, and the beasts of the earth, and the fowls shall summer upon them, and all the beasts of the earth shall winter upon them. In that time shall the present be brought unto the Lord of the hosts of a people scattered and peeled, and from a people terrible from the beginning hitherto, and they should meet it out and trodden down under foot, whose land and their rivers have spoiled, to name the place of the Lord of hosts, the Mount of Zion. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. We know that's America. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight in civil war. Professor Jiang, one against his brother eventually. And he said, the thing that Professor Jiang said, the thing that's going to create civil war in America, I believe, is, if I can remember correctly, is the boots on the ground. America has to send boots on the ground in, and boots on the ground means a draft, and the draft means civil war. And the Egyptians were like, give unto the land hand of the cruel world, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied. And this, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of the cruel Lord. That's Nemo 47. And the fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts, and the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of the defense shall be emptied and dried up, and the reeds and the flags shall wither. The paper, reeds by the brooks, by the mouths of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishes shall also mourn, and they shall cast their angle into the brook, and they that cast their angle into brooks shall lament, and they that spread their nets upon the waters shall languish. Moreover, they that work the fine flax, and they that weave the networks shall be confounded, and they shall be broken in pieces in the purposes thereof. That's basically the failure of industry. This is basically the failure of the economy. When you cast you cast your stuff into net, that's an investment. You're reaping the benefits, waiting for, your investment to reap, or your 401k, or your portfolio, whatever. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. And it's true. They're giving Trump's advisors and idiots at the moment. I'm not talking about the diplomats that I said before were clever. I'm talking about the people that are directly telling him what to do. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I'm the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Where are they? Where are they that know that the Lord of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt? And that's true. That's true, man. Where are they? Professor Zhang's saying it. He's talking about etiological convergence. That is the convergence of all these theories of how the world is going to end. He's looking at all these different places. He at least has the idea that he comes from the perspective that you've got all these secret societies and they're pushing their etiological they're trying to make their etiological thing happen, like the small hats who try to build the third temple, force the hand of God. And he's saying that, okay, well, they're all pushing in the same direction. He sees it as a vector. It's hard to explain, but when you add vectors, they kind of, all the bits that agree generally add force to that conclusion. So he's basically seeing all these different forces pushing towards war in the Middle East. The Christians, the Rosicrucians, the Jews, the Zionists, the Christian Zionists, you know, even Zoroastrians, the Iranians, all pushing for that same thing. And he says that the fact they're all pushing for the same thing means that it's almost an inevitability. Now, although he doesn't have faith, he doesn't have the belief that, you know, hope for substance of things not seen. He understands that these books, these ancient texts, are convergent. He can see that the scriptures are going to come to pass, even though he doesn't believe that it's from the Spirit. Now, if he can see it, why can't Trump's advisors see it? Why can't Trump's spiritual advisors see it? You know, surely that the Lord has blinded those that he's blinded everyone else. He reveals his secrets to the his prophets or servants and blinds everybody else. I know I screwed up that reference. Anyway, the princes of Zoan have become as fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They have also seduced each. Well, there's your answer. They're just idiots. They've been blinded and deceived. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to earn every work as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which is the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day Egypt shall be like unto woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of the hosts, which he shaketh over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Woo! Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction. In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar in the border thereof to the Lord. Yeah, so there we have it. There we have it. I'm going to do another video just now because I want to talk about New Year, which is tomorrow. Nobody's saying it, but my calculations are saying it tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to shut off, say all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalom. Bahasham Hakadash, Shalom.